Well, now that I've exfoliated and put on some serum, I look a little bit better, don't I? Ya me hacía falta porque ayer me quemé, andaba toda tostadita, and I like my tan, but lo que pasa es que, with perimenopause, your skin gets so dry. Anyway, so this video is for a lot of you that are here. So before all of this craziness, I only had like 300 followers, and I probably knew 200 of them personally. I've always made it a point to, whenever I have jobs, friends, whatever, and I've always loved the internet. So I wanted to make a little video about me so you guys can know who you're actually following, what this person is, and make sure that you're happy with your choice. Okay? So let's get started. So I was born in 1980 in County UC Hospital in East LA. And if you know, you know. On Marengo Street. And then the first year of my life, I believe was about a year, I lived off of State and First. Then after that, I think I went to Mexico to visit to meet like my paternal and maternal grandparents with my mom. My mom took me to Michoacan to meet her parents, and she took me to Durango to meet my dad's parents. So mi mama is from Michoacan, mi papa is from Durango. So I met him there. And I'm going to redo this whole thing in Spanish. So if you want to hear it in Spanish, I will have one tomorrow. I'll try to translate this one, or I'll just redo it again. Okay? If you prefer it in Espanol. I do Spanglish anyway. I can't help it. That's what happens when you go to school back and forth all through elementary. Then I came back and we lived in Highland Park for a bit. Creo que como un año o dos también otra vez. Y luego nos regresamos to Mexico. We went back. Because we went back to my mom's hometown in Michoacan, and we were going to start an avocado farm with my dad. My dad started an avocado farm with all of his hard work and savings. He was going to start that, and we were going to start, we bought a little, una tiendita and whatever, right? We were going to start our life there. And then my mom got pregnant with my sibling, and it was like a crazy pregnancy, and I'm lucky that they made it alive, so we came back. And then when we came back, I went back to First and State because my aunt and uncle still lived there. And I went to 2nd Street Elementary for a little bit of first grade, and then we moved to my Nina's, and my Nina used to live across the street from what was formerly the Sports Arena, which is Exposition Park. So then I finished first grade and started 2nd grade at Menlo Avenue School. Or was it just 2nd grade with Mr. Rossler? Yeah, that was his teacher's name, Mr. Rossler. And then they decided that instead, now there have been a few years, we were going to go back to Mexico once again and try it out in Ciudad Juarez with my paternal family. So then, at the end of second, wait. I was in Mexico I was in first grade, then I went to Mexico for 2nd grade with Miss Becha, then I came back here with Mr. Rossler, then I went to Ciudad Juarez for 3rd grade with a really weird teacher, and that was a really weird experience because I looked a lot like his daughter that had passed away, so he was very obsessive and making me be the #1 student, and he was extra tough on me and extra strict. And so when my mom saw that, she was like, yeah, we need to get the fuck out of here. So back to Guadalajara I went, and that's when I started going to Benito Juárez Elementary, la escuela Benito Juárez número 36. And that's when I got my first dose of freaking reality, que soy ni de aquí ni de allá. Because in Mexico, the biggest honor you can have when you hit 6th grade in elementary is to be in the flag squad. Because the flag squad, every Monday and every Friday, they do a saludo a la bandera. And to be the abanderada, which is the center of the squad, because the way that they do it is you have the person with the flag, two flank the right, two flank the left, and then sometimes you have 2 on the back, 1 on each side. And then they have to, you march with the freaking flag. You military style march with the flag, and you hold it at attention, whether you're male or female. But I wanted to be the abanderada so bad. I was just like, since I was a child, I was like, I love my country. And my mom was like, yeah, it's one of your countries. No, I love my country. Y ahí voy de pendeja, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait till I go to 6th grade. That's why, because, you know, I had, like, the highest points in my class. And I was like, I might get to be abanderada, because that honor went to the top performer in the entire grade. And then this other girl goes, ay, no seas mensa, tú no puedes ser abanderada. And I'm like, why not? And she's like, porque la abanderada tiene que ser mexicana y tú no eres de aquí. Tú eres pocha. And I was like, okay. So there went my dream of being abanderada. So I finished 2nd grade with Maestra Meche at Benito Juarez, wearing my little burgundy uniform. Then I did 3rd grade with Maestra Abby. And then I did, I was going to start 4th grade. And then we came back and we stayed here. And that's how I wound up at 49th Street Elementary for some time. But before I went to 49th Street Elementary, we landed back at my Nina's. And I was at Menlo Avenue School again. For 49th Street Elementary, then Menlo, then 49th Street. And then after 49th Street, we came here. And I finished my elementary, my 5th grade. I started and completed all 5th grade at Charles W. Barrett School, which back in the day used to be called 97th Street School, which is really funny because it's on 98th Street. But you know what? I don't make the rules. That's the LAUSD for you. Then after that, I went to Bret Hart Junior High on 92nd and Fig. And then after that, I went to Washington Preparatory High School off of 108th and Normandy. So when I tell you I'm from the hood, baby, I am from the hood. Because I bet you a lot of these LA transplants are yelling at me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't know where the hell Wash House means. And they don't know about the Wash House Crenshaw rivalry. And they don't know nothing. And they don't know how much we made fun of Fremont. And then nobody went to Gompers. Like, if you knew, you knew. You went to fucking Bret Hart, or you went to the one that's over here down on 100. I forget the name of it, but it was the other one. Anyway, the point is, if you know, you know. Or you went to the Catholic schools. So then, you know, life happened, you know, ta-la-la-la, como dicen los kids right now. And, you know, I had a variety of jobs. Like, I started, like I said, at 14 in downtown LA. At 15, I went to work at the office. And then after like 16, 17, I worked at McDonald's. I've had to clean crap out of a McDonald's bathroom on my actual freaking birthday. So if you want to talk about be humbled, bitch, I was humbled. I have been humbled. I used to love washing dishes at McDonald's, though, because you had that big old hose and I could make a big fucking mess and nobody would yell at me because I was washing the dishes. And then I worked at a movie theater and, you know, like typical little gigs. And then sometime around age 19th, after my first biggest heartbreak of, you know, the first love heartbreak, and it was pretty bad. And we'll go into that story when we talk about emotional and psychological abuse later. I wound up at a deco. And that started back into, oh, yeah, I know how to use a computer, blah, 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 blah. And I've always been working in offices ever since then, different types of businesses. I've worked in advertising, and I worked in manufacturing with apparel, and I'm now working in manufacturing with machinery. I've worked in the services industry, like I said. I worked for a marketing consultancy, and then I worked for it's an agency that liaisons between like the people that want to build and then the permitting people in downtown. Yeah, I worked there too. I don't want to get too specific because I don't want to put any of my employers out like that, right? And then I also worked in e-commerce, and I worked in software development. I worked for a software development company. I also worked for Coca-Cola Mexico through their American subsidiary that's no longer here. It was called Interex, but then they bought Wise Foods out in Pennsylvania. So now Wise just operates out of Arca Contal, which is Coca-Cola Mexico in the northern part from like Guadalajara up. That's how I worked through Coca-Cola. So anyway, that has kind of been my whole entire career of working and to where I am now. So I hope you enjoy learning a little bit about how your tia became your tia. And then we'll talk about all the shenanigans I got to when I was in school. And, you know, I'm being young and, you know, ex-hubby number 1, current hubby number 2, and, you know, all of that. As we transition to getting to know each other face. So why don't you do me a favor? And, I mean, I know why you're here. Because I'm fucking funny, like, what happened that day was hilarious. But when a lot of people were like, when I tell you that was the unknown force speaking through me, because I hadn't thought about Salma Hayek in years in regards to that Donald Trump and that interview. And I don't know where that came from. But anyways, drop me in the comments what you want to know about me. And if I could tell you, I'll tell you. Okay? I love you all. Have a wonderful night and talk soon. Los quiero mucho. Love you, nieces, nephews. Bye-bye. Sobrinas, sobrinos. Bye.